My first, I would say, exposure to electric vehicles was during my stint with Gati Logistics. We are the first ones to introduce last mile deliveries through electric vehicles way back in 2017. We focus more on women empowerment. We have 150 plus women in Kevadia, Gujarat, driving these electric three-wheelers. Similarly, around 200 plus women in Delhi driving these electric three-wheelers, and of course 100 plus in Hyderabad. People generally aspire to be leaders, but only when you go to the top you understand that you don't actually sit on the, I would say, a throne of roses, but those are throne of thorns. The obligation to succeed, the necessity to grow is no longer a luxury, it's a need. You understand the market needs, you understand both said and unsaid needs of the market, and accordingly you bring the product and solution. The cost of not making a decision is always higher than the cost of making a wrong decision.
Who motivate you?
My favorite book where I get a lot of inspiration every day is Bible. Be curious always, right? And do not ever feel ashamed of trying to know things that you do not know.
Welcome to our podcast. I'm Navneet here, and today I'm going to have an amazing conversation with Mr. Rajeev. He's a visionary leader in the forefront of innovation in the field of electric vehicle and sustainable mobility. So before starting, could you please introduce a bit about yourself, how you started, how you're doing, and what is the important work you are doing in the field of growing in industry?
First of all, thank you very much, Navneet, for having me on this podcast. I see this as a great opportunity to take some good message to, I would say, a lot of listeners and then the followers that this particular channel has. To introduce myself, I'm Rajeev YSR. I've done my bachelor's and master's from IIT Madras, 2010. Then worked with companies such as TVS Motors, Bosch, Mahindra and Mahindra, Gati Logistics, Ather Motors. Also, for about a year and a half, I worked as head investments promotions for the state of Andhra Pradesh, government of Andhra Pradesh, and where I drafted the EV policy and also mobilized a lot of investments for the state. And then for a year pause, I went to US and finished my MBA at MIT Sloan School of Management, Boston. Came back and started multiple initiatives, and one of those initiatives is ThunderPlus. My first, I would say, exposure to electric vehicles was during my stint with Gati Logistics. So that was in the year 2017-18 when IKEA, if at all you are aware, right? IKEA came to India. As you all know, IKEA is a very, very, I would say, sustainable, conscious company. Everything that they do, they see what is the impact on carbon footprint, what is the impact on greenhouse gas emissions. So they measure and they do it very, very consciously. At that point of time, Gati happened to be the last mile delivery partner for IKEA. So as part of the agreement that Gati had with IKEA, the last mile deliveries were to happen through sustainable mobility, that is through electric vehicles, starting with 20% and then 100% in the next 5 years. So that was when I started my journey with Gati Logistics as well as with electric vehicles. In fact, we are the first ones to introduce last mile deliveries through electric vehicles way back in 2017. What started just with IKEA, we mimicked and implemented that in Amazon, Big Basket, Flipkart, Grofers, DHL, Blue Dart, you name the logistics companies or e-commerce companies, we were the first ones to introduce the deliveries through electric vehicles. And then later on, I moved on and we collaborated and started a company called Eto Motors. What is Eto Motors into? And before even I go into what is Eto Motors into, let me talk about the legacy of this group. The first electric bus that ever ran on the Indian routes was manufactured by us.
Wow.
In fact, we did field trials at as high as Rohtang Pass in Himachal Pradesh, Mumbai, and the number of buses that we see right now, all those initial trials were done by us, and later on we sold that company, and now that company is known as Electra Green, for those
Great.
who are aware. After that, we started another manufacturing company called Keto Motors, where we were manufacturing electric three-wheelers, passenger and cargo. And as part of the same, we started deploying these operations of mobility cargo services for Amazon's big baskets under a brand called Eto. And for passenger, we focus more on women empowerment. We have 150 plus women in Kevadia, Gujarat, driving these electric three-wheelers. Similarly, around 200 plus women in Delhi driving these electric three-wheelers. And of course, 100 plus in Hyderabad. So total, we have around 2,000 plus vehicles running on the roads. And then the journey of ThunderPlus anyway, I'm going to talk.
Okay, let's talk about leadership.
Mhm.
Okay. I know leadership and making decision is a quite harder step always. So I'm very curious to know, are there moment or time where you feel like that this is the decision I'm going to make, and how you are like how you implemented that with your team and with your company?
People generally aspire to be leaders. Why? Because they assume that अरे बॉस होने के बाद सब ठीक हो जाता है, कोई इनको काम नहीं देता, सिर्फ वही काम देते रहते, right? And nobody to question him also, he may not be accountable. It is always good to go to the top. But only when you go to the top, you understand that you don't actually sit on the, I would say, a throne of roses, but those are throne of thorns. Why? Because as long as you are basically at the mid-level or entry level of an organization, you are accountable and responsible for only yourself. But once you reach the helm of the organization, you are accountable and responsible not just for yourself, for your team, their families, their children, everything, right? So the obligation to succeed, the necessity to grow is no longer a luxury, it's a need. So that way, every decision that you take as a leader will definitely have its own impact, either in a positive way or in a negative way. And hence, leaders in general are always at a tremendous pressure to make decisions. Let me reflect upon some of the decisions that we took, which helped us to be where we are now. So if you look at ThunderPlus as an organization, initially ThunderPlus was just a charging infrastructure department, developing charging infrastructure for those buses I told you. In fact, in Pune, Bikaner Nagar, we have India's largest charging infra of 5 megawatt capacity, where 120 plus buses can be charged simultaneously. And then after we started Eto Motors, this has again become a charging infrastructure department to develop charging infrastructure for those three-wheelers, cargo and passenger. Last year, when I took over this particular role in the company, we had an option. Either continue to remain as a charging infrastructure department or rewrite a new future for ourselves. So we had then, together as a team, came forward and we decided that, hey, these are the 4 things that we are going to do from now on. Number 1, until then we were only manufacturing chargers, but those are consumed internally. We said, hey, let's manufacture chargers and go to the world. From where we started our first division of manufacturing and selling of chargers. A lot of innovation into it. Of course, I'm going to talk about it. Second one, we said, why don't we also develop the public charging solutions? Until now, all the charging stations that we develop are only specific for private. Why don't we develop public charging solutions? Again, a decision because to set up, say, for example, a 240 kilowatt or a 360 kilowatt megawatt charging station, it cost the upwards of 1 CR. And charging business, as you know, is not like a restaurant business where you start a business today and tomorrow onwards you would see customers walking in. Electric vehicle as an industry is still in a nascent stage in India, right? So to deploy that 1 plus CR and to wait for the money to come in, how long? How many more days? How many more months? Will the ROI work out? Will the IRR work out, right? These are the questions, but we decided, no, let's get in. We will figure out how do we bring the revenue. So manufacturing of charging and sales, and then public charging stations. Third important thing is we started also developing dedicated parking and charging solutions. And finally, we started doing EPCs. Now, this is interesting. EPCs is, okay, you have a charger that needs to be installed. So whether it is the civil work, whether it is the power infrastructure work, the cabling, routing, everything is called EPC. In an EV ecosystem, generally what happens is a charger manufacturer will not be a charge point operator. Charge point operator means one who runs those chargers. A charge point operator will not be an EPC guy. EPC guy who engineers, procures and commissions this. So all these three are three exclusive departments. That's where we said, this is again very, very bold leadership decision, right? Because we really need to now, if we don't define this, I'm neither a charger manufacturer, nor a charge point operator, neither a CPO. So what we have done, we said, those products which are already there in the market, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I will focus on those products which are not there in the market. That's where I started focusing on a 3.3 kilowatt universal charger, which we call Har Ghar Thunder, which means every house should have a charging point, and that charging point should become a revenue generating aspect, more like an STD booth business. No manpower, no monitoring, simple QR code, scan, charge, pay. Second, when the whole world is focused on fast charging for 4-wheelers and buses, we are the first ones to focus on fast charging for 2-wheelers and 3-wheelers. That's where we call Chai Pay Charge. So from these 3.3 kilowatt and a Chai Pay Charge perspective, as a manufacturer, I am the market leader at this point of time. But when it comes to other fast chargers, I collaborate with my competitors and I take their products. And my competitors, when it comes to these products, collaborate with me and take my products. Second thing, there is an possibility that I can either compete with my charge point operator as other companies as a competitor, or I can collaborate. So what I've said to my competitors is, hey, you know what? You set up your charge points, doesn't really matter. But the entire engineering, procurement, commissioning, and operations and maintenance of that, including demand generation, will be taken care by me. So you don't have to do the heavy lifting work. We will do that work. That's how we have started collaborating with our own competitors with whom we work right now, right? So these are certain decisions where we had to make, which really helped us to become a 10 crore top line company in the very first year of our operations.
Okay, so you're talking about competitors. So as I know, branding is like more important for every business in today era. So how you are going to define branding and marketing?
See, most of the times, right, the tech founders think that branding and marketing are bakwas cheeze, right? As long as you have a great product, people are going to come and buy. But somebody needs to go out and tell them that, hey, a product as such is available and it is great, right? So I strongly believe as much as technology is important, as much as innovation is important, so much is the importance of marketing and branding, because people need to be aware that you exist. So you cannot discount marketing and branding. In fact, if you look at ThunderPlus, we invest very heavily. See, for example, when I spoke about Har Ghar Thunder, right? That's a campaign people think, Har Ghar Thunder, Har Ghar Tiranga, Har Ghar Thunder. And when I say Chai Pay Charge, wow, Chai Pay Chacha to hai, Chai Pay Charge bhi hai, right? Now, these campaigns do not come just like that, right? You need to invest your time, money, efforts, and resources into it, right? And every good thing that you do needs to be amplified and told in the market. That's the reason every, I would say, collaboration, every partnership that we do, we speak it out very loud and clear that, hey, this is what we have done, say, for example, with Tata Motors. This is what we have done, say, with India Post. This is what we have done, say, with South Central Railways. This is what we have done, say, with Ather, right? So you cannot discount marketing and branding. They are as important as your product, technology, and innovation.
Okay, so like the question I have asked you about branding and marketing. So we all know that team is an important part of like our business. So how you stay motivated and focused along with your team, how you are keep on pushing them and making decision for them without losing the quality whatever you are providing to your customer.
Let me share a small example. How long does it take to travel by bus from here to Chandigarh?
3 hours.
3 to 4 hours. Okay. Let me put you two scenarios. Right. Scenario number one, you are going to Chandigarh because there is a wonderful wedding that's happening. You're going to be part of it for the rest of the day. Lot of sangeet, a lot of bharat, a lot of dance, etc. A good food. You're going to meet all your close friends, your families, etc. is one. Right. Second thing, everything of that what I told you exists, but just that you are not aware. Now look at this. So you have two passengers in the bus. Both are going to the same destination. Both of them are going to be part of the same excitement, same function, whatsoever. But one guy is aware of what's going to happen, but the other guy has no clue what's going to happen. Now let's look at the emotions that both of them go through. The person who is aware of what's going to happen, he is in anticipation, excitement. He's like, wow, when will I finish my 3 hours journey? Because I'm going to meet my classmates, I'm going to meet my friends, right? The bride is my friend, the groom is my friend, etc. He looks with a lot of excitement and he enjoys every moment. Now look at the other guy who is absolutely not aware of what's happening. 3 hours. How do I sit in the bus? क्या करूँ मैं यहाँ पे? Boring लग रहा है. You're able to understand, right? What's the difference between both of them? One guy was aware of the vision, and hence he's enjoying the journey towards the destination. Other guy has no clue about what the vision, what the destination is, and hence for him the journey is monotonous, the journey is boring, the journey is tiring, and the journey doesn't really appeal to him. Now why I shared this analogy is, a leader's responsibility is the vision that he is able to see, the vision that he is able to articulate, the vision that he is able to build. He should also be able to communicate with the same passion and commitment to everyone in the team. Are you here with me? When you do that, imagine the entire bus is of passengers who are aware that we are going to be a place where there is going to be a wedding. What a joy, right? What a galata, what a fun, what a hangama in that bus. The journey would not be like a boring journey for them, right? So where the reflection of that is, even if you are a CEO or a founder or a CXO, it doesn't really matter. You need to ensure that your grandeur vision and the goal that you intend to go must be communicated with the same rigor and passion to the last mile employee of your company. When you do that, you are like that shared bus where everybody is enjoying the journey because they know where they're going. For example, in Jan 2024, when I took over this company, the top line, the sales or the revenue was 8.3 lakhs per month, 8.3 lakhs per month. I called my team and said, hey, you know what? One day we will do 1 CR per month.
Wow.
That's almost like what? 8.3 lakhs to 1 CR is almost 12x, 13x growth. Sorry, not even 8.3, I think it's around 5 lakhs or so. Team was like, "Saab to maza kar rahe," right? 5 lakhs per month to 1 CR, 20x growth, kaisa hoga? The same team, Jan 2025, we did 83 lakhs per month. Look at this. Jan 2024, 8.3 lakhs. Jan 2025, 83 lakhs, 10x growth. Team, kuch to? Alright. Then I told my team, hey, you know what? Let's do at least 1 CR per month. 1 CR per month, hoga, nahi hoga. March, we did 1 CR plus. March, we closed at 2.9 CR. And when we looked at the entire year, from April 2024 to March 2025, when we closed our books, the team together has done 10 CR as a top line. Right? Now, again, I wouldn't say I have done it. The team has done it, right? Now you see the fun. Then I said, hey, great, we have achieved 10 CR. Shall we do 100 CR next year? You're able to understand? But then, since I already shared that vision of 1 CR per month to 10 CR per year, now the team is excited. Ki, "Arey, we have done that. Probably we'll do this also." And we have been consistently doing. I hope there will be a time, few months from now, where we'll again gather like this and then discuss how we did 100 crore per annum as a, I would say, a revenue, right? So I think as a leader, it is important for him to not just visualize the grandeur vision, but it is equally important for him to share that vision with the same passion and rigor so that everybody chases that particular vision and the journey will not be difficult, the journey will not be futile, the journey will not be tiring. It is exciting.
You're all going to enjoy that piece of cake. Can say
Absolutely
that.
correct.
So you have created a job portal, let's say, for tribal women, and this is the India's first EV zone, I believe. So how you can suggest leaders to balance like making money while doing good things for society?
Brilliant. Very good question. See, for any business leader, first and foremost important thing is making money. He must make money, right? Then all the other empowerment etc comes into picture. So let me not give you a wrong perception ki wo noble cheez karo, ye noble cheez karo. No. As a founder CEO, you are here to make money. Again, make money in the sense, while you offer the products and services, you collect, and then that's how you make money. That's how the country grows. That is how it adds up to GDP, right? But it's a beautiful question. How do you balance it out, right? So that's where, as a leader, you need to understand. For example, I'll tell you. I'll talk about multiple examples. Gujarat, Kevadia. Context. The tribal families were displaced. Why? Because we wanted to build the government wanted to build the Statue of Unity. And then something needs to be done. Now I had two options. One is provide similar kind of a training to the men of the home and deploy. Then I thought two things. Number one, men are generally not that flexible, right? Thoda rigid hai wo. Second, when it comes to responsibility, they are not as good as women. Third, when it comes to hospitality, nobody to beat women. And Kevadia is a tourist place. We need less absenteeism. We need guests to be really feeling warmth. And the sense of responsibility, when you empower these women, right, they can buy the dress that they want to wear. They can put the kids in the school that they want to. They can give good, nutritious food to the family. Right? When we thought of it, then we decided, no, let's do something hut. Okay. Now, because of which, what happens? Number one, these vehicles were maintained well because they handle it smoothly. Second, the absenteeism is less because women are more committed. Third, zero customer complaints. Why? Because they always treat good morning ma'am, good morning sir, baitiye. And then when people see that a woman is driving the three-wheeler, right, they also get encouraged to speak.
Yeah.
Then the stories are exchanged, the lives are exchanged, right? So that way there is a connect. So from a business perspective, my metrics, driver absenteeism, less, customer satisfaction, more, vehicle uptime, better. I make good money. And from a social perspective, I am empowering these women, right? So it is a myth that if you focus on empowerment, you can't get profits. Or if you focus on profits, you cannot really empower. No. As a leader, it's your responsibility. And only you can actually balance them both. You can empower women while you are actually making money. Another example. I told you that we have done Kanyakumari to Kashmir as a all women drive. Okay, 30 days we covered from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. Why? Is because we have partnered with Uber, India's largest aggregator, where we said we are going to onboard at least 5,000 women as three-wheeler electric vehicle drivers across the country.